Hello, my name is David Breslow, and I am the founder of Performance Success Strategies and the creator of Wired to Win, the most sought after total golf performance program on the golf market today. So stay tuned. I'm going to come right back with today's tip. In today's tip, I'd like to talk to you about what I call reactive golf. And I'm pretty sure you know exactly what this means, or at least you've had the experience. What I'm calling reactive golf is that kind of golf that we play when we are constantly in reactive mode. We are constantly reacting to our poor shots, our missed putts, our poor choice of clubs that we make, whatever it might be. And these reactions usually turn into things like anger or frustration, or self-doubt or self-condemnation, self-criticism, self-judgment, all of these kind of ugly things that we do to ourselves on the golf course. But reactive golf is a horrible way to play a round of golf when you think about it, isn't it? Why do you want to go so up and down emotionally that affects the way you think and affects your physical body as well, affects the rhythm of your golf swing, it affects every part of your game? That's reactive golf. And a very high percentage of the amateur golf population plays exactly that. I've talked to a lot of golfers over the years, as you've heard me say, and a lot of golfers try to cover it up, which I find interesting because they don't want to look like a child out on the golf course, and they don't want to be overreacting to things all the time. So they're constantly working really hard at trying to cover up what's going on internally, which is a lot of these reactions that are uncomfortable. So they keep trying to struggle against that. So what do? They read more books, they read more articles, they talk to more people, they get more tips and all this stuff you've heard me talk about. But it really, really is very difficult, and it takes a long time using that particular approach, because the reality is you're feeling what you're feeling. That's the reality. And the interesting thing is we do it automatically, don't we? I mean, the moment you hit that tee shot and it goes out of bounds or into the water, we have this immediate reaction, whether we express it physically or emotionally or not. I'm more concerned about what's going on internally, because that's the truth. You can cover it up all you want, but the truth is internally, you're having this reaction. So why do we do this? Well, I'm not going to go into the whole circle 1, circle 2 explanation in this audio, but if you want to visit my website, which I'll give you the address at the end, you will see a video about circle 1, circle 2, because the reality is we're stuck in circle 1. Circle 1 is where we have our habitual reactions. And the interesting thing is you're not doing it on purpose. I already know that. So when a golfer talks to me and tells me about, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I already know they're in circle 1, which I'm calling dead asleep. So if you're playing reactive golf, I'm telling you, you are dead asleep. You're doing these things unconsciously, aren't you? Look how quickly, at the snap of a finger, look how quickly you can be triggered to anger or frustration or overreaction or whatever it might be, self-destruction. We do these things so quickly. And instead of running around trying to find ways to deal with each one of those things, which really doesn't work, which is what the traditional model does, you really want to learn more about what's triggering all that. And it's one of the famous questions, or one of the questions I ask people all the time that I'm kind of famous for, I guess, is that when golfers tell me about their problems, all their issues, I call them fires. And they tell me about all the fires that are going on. I have a very simple question for you. Are you more interested in learning ways to put out the fires, or would you rather have fewer fires to put out? Usually when I ask the question, there's this little pause, because golfers aren't used to being asked that question. They're trying to figure out what I actually said. But the truth is, you're either putting out fires and learning how to do that, or you're having fewer fires. And 98% will tell me, well, I'd rather have fewer fires. Well, okay, then that's what we do. I'm not interested in helping you put out the fires. That's too late. So when you're playing reactive golf, you're already caught you're already stuck in the reaction. It's not where you want to be. But for purposes of today's short tip, let me talk to you about one of the ways that you cause these fires. One of the ways that you cause these fires is because you're assigning meaning to everything you see, a person or a situation. You're not just having a thought, because thoughts by themselves are nothing. And here's what I want you to get out of today. Thoughts are meaningless. Words are meaningless. Not too many people are going to tell you that, but they're meaningless. The only way and the only time they can mean something is when you assign a particular meaning to it. So let's say you hit a poor shot. You're looking at that poor shot and your reaction. I promise you, before you have that reaction, you have already unconsciously assigned meaning to that situation. And that meaning is usually something like, oh God, that was horrible. Oh God, I suck. Oh God, I can't believe I did it again. Oh God, my hole is ruined. Oh, my round is ruined. You know, and you do all this garbage on the first or second hole of the round. How silly is that? And you've heard me say many times how many golfers think that they're rational, because golf is a thinking man's and woman's game, right? Yet you're doing some of the most irrational things that can be done. That's completely irrational to have that kind of an emotional reaction to what's going on. That's irrational. But again, you're not doing it on purpose. You're in circle one, you're stuck, you're dead asleep. Go to the website and you'll see I have a 6-minute video about that. Take a look at it. It'll completely explain what I'm talking about right now. But for today, once again, I'd like you to take out a piece of paper as your assignment and take a look at your reaction. Look at the times during a round that you react. Is it a missed putt? Is it a poor tee shot? Is it moving from the practice range to the first tee? Is it to a problem with a playing partner? What is it? In the sand, in the water, par 3? Look at all those words. Look at all those words, even when I say them. What meaning do you assign to them? I mean, I'll talk to a golfer at a tournament and I'll mention par 3, and you see the look on their face. Already, it's like, ugh, they're having an internal reaction because they're assigning meaning to the words par 3, to the word driver, to the word putter. You're assigning meaning to them all the time. But we do it so quick, we don't even realize we're doing it. But I'm telling you, that happens first before the emotional reaction that you're getting. Something is happening first before the reaction. For most golfers, it seems automatic, like bingo, immediately, right away. Well, because it is. We're unaware that in between, there's a buffer zone where we're having that meaning that we assign to it that's triggering the reaction that we are comfortable with or uncomfortable with out of habit. That's it. That's all that's happening. So today's message is, I want you to sit down. Well, first, I'd like you to go to the site and take a look at that video about circle 1 and 2, and sit down, take a piece of paper, review a typical round where you tend to react. Good, bad, or ugly, either one, doesn't matter. Take a look at where you react and take a look at the meaning that you're assigning to what you're looking at and what you're reacting to. Because I promise you, you are going to start to see a one-to-one relationship between the meaning you're assigning and the reaction, the ugly reaction that you're having. And that's all that you're doing, is you're assigning meaning. Because by themselves, they're nothing. A putter is nothing. A driver is nothing. A ball in the water is nothing until you assign meaning to it. And if you want to get out of that, if you want to be more rational, if you want to be a rational golfer, take a look at the meanings you assign and start adjusting those meanings to something that feels better to you. So I hope that makes sense to you. And I hope you enjoyed today's tip. And as always, I invite you not just to listen, but to apply. Go do something. And if you want to learn more about me or more about the Wired to Win program and more about Circle 1, Circle 2, which is really everything, come on and visit me at www.mentalgolfcoaching.com. And I look forward to speaking to you next time. Take care.